Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Ring of Honor. We had some interesting developments going on this show, along with some good matches. It lasted for an hour, so that was good enough for me. I'll take that. We started off with Mascara Dorada going against Angelico. And maybe I'm in the minority here, but I have seen a lot from Angelico. Like, I'm talking like way back Lucha Underground days, and I really, something about this made me feel disappointed because I felt like Mascara Dorada was like completely dominant here, and I was like, no, Angelico wouldn't just let him get his ass whooped like this. Something about it I felt like was a little too dominant, and by the time the match was over, I kind of get it because, they were talking about how he's going to be going against Bandito next week. Is it next week? Yes, next week for the Ring of Honor world title. Now, Mascara Dorada is amazing. Y'all seen him. If y'all don't watch CMLL, he has had a few matches within AEW, but the last one, and probably the best one he's ever done in AEW, was a match that he had in that three-way with Okada and Takeshita, and that match was just absolutely amazing. So that was back at, was that Forbidden Door? I think that's Forbidden Door. And he's done so well. This is the second time that Mascara Dorada and Bandito will be having a one-on-one matchup. They had a match earlier this summer on I forgot which show it was, on CMLL, and I talked about this in one of my reviews. They did absolutely amazing. That's definitely, I don't want to say match of the year because I have seen better, but definitely probably within like my top 20 matches that I've seen so far this year. So the chemistry is 100% there. But this time they're doing a second part, but it's going to be within, AEW territory. So that's going to be interesting. So, when you think about it and seeing him being dominant over Angelico, you're like, okay, well, this is kind of like what you want to expect in terms of someone going against a champion next week. But I just felt like I know Angelico more than that. And it was a little disappointing to see him not being able to be more dominating in this match. Now, we had trios action. We had Dark Order going against Jay Lethal, Tommy Billington, and Adam Priest. I feel like every once in a while they remind us that they're trying to do something with Tommy, Adam, with Jay Lethal. They haven't been completely consistent with it, so honestly, I kind of forgot that they seem to have been trying to put these three together. Honestly, I think I just like Adam and Tommy together, but we'll see what they do with Jay. I thought they had a really great matchup here, and you know what? This is interesting because Dark Order, I like them, even though I feel like maybe they could be doing something else instead of this whole Dark Order gimmick. But so much more can be happening with this group where they can be getting over if the Dark Order faction idea, whatever that is just not working in today's term. It didn't surprise me to see them take an L, but I want to see more from them. Like, we've seen promos from them past few months. Like, it hasn't been consistent, but they've said things about how, they're looking to, progress in terms of as a trios or as singles wrestlers or as a tag team. And honestly, we have not gotten a chance to see them progress in any type of way. And I don't think that this has anything to do with these guys. If they're not consistently on TV or consistently being booked into matches, there's no room for growth for these guys. So we do have Jay and Adam and Tommy take the win. I am interested to see where they go with this because I'm just not sure about Jay being part of this group. But if it is for anything, I would be okay with Tommy and Adam being together. I'll keep my eye out and see where it goes. Now, interesting developments. We hear from our girl, Red Velvet. Red Velvet is not happy about Mercedes Moné winning the Ring of Honor Interim Championship. Now, this is the reason why I can't stand the interim thing, because the shit be getting messy, and I honestly, if I was an interim champion, I don't know how proud I would be about it. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like the concept of interim champions. It's really just somebody who just holding it down temporarily while the champion is away. And it's not a bad idea. But I just felt like we probably would have been fine without them doing that if we could have put more of a focus on the pure tournament and also on the women's division of with Athena with the women's title. And unfortunately, we haven't got that from either side. So now she's upset that Mercedes has got this title. She's like, look, I'm back, baby. I'm back. I ain't injured no mo. And I never lost my title. She ends up pulling out her title and she puts it on her shoulder, letting everyone know that, look, I am still the champion. You are just the interim champion. And, she's letting her know that, hey, you know what? I'm ready for you. I'm not injured. And they just left it at that. Maybe something at Final Battle, I'm thinking, between the two of them. Because remember, they only had 3 pay-per-views a year. So that's, we have, what is it, December 5th, I want to say, is the last pay-per-view of the year. So they can carry that out until then. I don't want to say I guarantee that we'll never see Mercedes on Ring of Honor other than when she defends that title with Red Velvet, and that's not even a given because that might not even happen on Ring of Honor. But I don't really expect to see her. Unfortunately, this doesn't necessarily has anything to do with Mercedes. This is a thing that they have done before where when they give titles to people within AEW, they tend to not show up on Ring of Honor. And this is the reason why I'm saying I'm not sure it will ever even see Mercedes due to the track record of them giving titles to AEW wrestlers that just never step foot within AEW. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Hopefully they can have a nice feud with both of these girls because Red Velvet, I think she has improved. Unfortunately, she got injured right when things was getting really, really hot for her. And I hope that this definitely helps her look more of a bigger champion if she's in a feud with Mercedes. After this, we have our girl Deonna Purrazzo in a Pure Rules match with Angelica Risk. This didn't take long. Deonna is not playing with y'all hoes. She comes in there, she gets the work done, and she leaves. I love that. She ends up taking the win once again with a Venus de Milo. And honestly, I think that she's still my pick. She's still my pick in turn. Well, actually, she's my pick that I want to win. However, I do feel like Serena Deeb may be, well, no, actually, what have I seen from her as of late to make me feel like she would win? Honestly, I scratch that. Deonna, I think, should get this. She's had the most wins in terms of pure matches since they've been started doing it a couple of months ago with the girls. And she's just been absolutely amazing. We need to get this tournament going, Tony Khan. I don't know what's going on. And even if they are taking their time with having these tournament matches, whatever's going on with that, we should see more women having Pure Rules matches just to get people, familiar with girls actually doing this type of style of matches. Because remember, we didn't have our first Pure Rules match within Ring of Honor for the women until just a couple of months ago. So this is the very first time that we're actually seeing this division play out. And I don't feel like we're seeing enough. We need to put a lot more work in. Still, Deonna is definitely my pick at this point to win the whole damn thing. Okay, random tag match. Alex Windsor teaming up with Yuka Sakazaki to go against Aaliyah James and Billy Starks. Is it random? Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because we're thinking of the announcement yesterday that they announced about how they're doing the AEW Women's Tag Tournament. And in that tournament is not Yuka Sakazaki teaming up with Alex Windsor. It's actually Alex teaming up with Riho to be there. So I guess they wanted people to see that she can work well in the team. I don't know. Billy Starks, who also tweeted last night during or after the show, like, Athena, like, what the fuck? Like, aren't I your tag team partner? Am I not your biggest minion and always do your bidding for you? And she's just like feeling some type of way that Athena would choose Mercedes over her. So she's not in it, obviously. The tag match I thought was great, but Billy Starks, she's heartbroken, obviously, by the whole thing, and she's not really 100% in the match. Matter of fact, she leaves Aaliyah so she could fend for herself while she go on about her business, and Alex Windsor and Yuka takes the win. Alex, I like her, and I do feel like they should make her a regular on Ring of Honor. Look, don't all throw your tomatoes at me or whatever. I just feel like there's a lot of things going on with the girls right now in AEW, and titles ain't moving apparently over there. And maybe there's more of a chance between three titles that they got there: the women's title, the pure title, whenever Tony Khan feel like doing something about that, and then we have the women's TV title. And maybe this would be a great way to bring her up and get her familiarized with the audience. So I think we could use her a lot more on Ring of Honor. However, it didn't make me feel anything in terms of, hey, I saw her with Sari, teaming up with Sari, who I felt like they worked amazing together, had a really great chemistry a few weeks ago and, as a team. And then now she's with Yuka, and it's like, well, you did I with Yuka, but really your teammate is going to be Riho. So what are we doing? Just pairing her up with Asian girls, and that's just supposed to be enough for you to think that she's going to do amazing with Riho? Honestly, I don't know. After this, we have Grizzly Young Veterans teaming up with Isla Dawn to go against local talent. Sorry, babies, I did not catch your name. I love these guys together. I really do like Grizzly Young Veterans with Isla Dawn together. I like what I'm seeing in the ring. We don't really get a chance to hear much from them, or it doesn't necessarily feel like they have like some type of character. They're just, three badasses that go out there and have great matches, and they work really well together. I am actually looking forward to seeing more matches where we get to see men and women together in the ring. So I do hope we get a chance to see more of those. I'm not really sure. Even if they don't do that as often, that's okay too, because obviously Isla will probably end up doing her own thing, and then obviously Zach and James can, do their tag team stuff or whatnot. I think it's really important to, form alliances within wrestling. And I think we got a great group here. They end up taking the win, which doesn't surprise me. This is definitely pretty much warming up to us seeing them go against the premier athletes that weren't on the show tonight. But we need to see a hell of a lot more from premier athletes, because I'm definitely won over a hell of a lot more with Isla Dawn with the Grizzly Young Veterans. Main event, surprising main event. We had Commander, our boy Commander, going against Griff Garrison. And I was like, oh, okay. Because all the boys came out from the Rat House. And I wasn't really sure who was it until they said their names. And I was like, oh, Griff? I was pleasantly surprised to see how well Griff did on his own. Was there cheating? Well, yeah, obviously. But to see him one-on-one with Commander, we've seen so much out of Commander. He's definitely... I guess you can say like one of the top guys in AEW in terms of wrestling ability, and he's a fan favorite for sure. And to see Griff just go out there by himself, one-on-one with Commander, I was really proud. I felt like a little like a little mom just being like, oh, look at him go, look at my son doing his thing. It was really, really cool to see that they trusted him to be able to be the main event and to go against Commander. And this is situations that we need a hell of a lot more of, where we get a chance to not just see top guys like squash the younger talent or the more less experienced talent. This was absolutely fair in my opinion. Yes, the cheating, that's something else, but you know what I mean. And I thought that he looked absolutely amazing out there. Were there a few hiccups? Yeah, there were. But you can see the growth. And that's all we want. We want to see these wrestlers growing. And sometimes I feel like it's hard to see that within Ring of Honor, because when we have the Frat House, who I really do like. I love the whole gimmick. I think they're all great wrestlers, by the way. But I just feel like they have done too many squash situations. Y'all saw them obviously getting squashed at Wrestle Dream. And not only that, but they also, remember when Mercedes came out at Wrestle Dreams, they were holding the titles or whatever. So that was a pretty cute opportunity for them to have. But to see them actually just go out in the ring and just do their thing, and that's what we want to see. That's all we want to see. Obviously, Commander takes the win, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Overall, I thought the show was decent. We have a lot more work to do, and I'm hoping that the vibe of the show pick up a hell of a lot more before the pay-per-view comes on. Personally, I'm not a fan of Mercedes taking the interim title. However, I'm thinking that maybe they're expecting that people would think that she will be on the show. Hopefully she will be, and maybe that might boost a little bit of sales in terms of the subscription, because we've seen that be the case of her with other promotions, but unfortunately she's just not at the other promotions putting those titles up on the line. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of her, or if she's not going to be wrestling, at least have her like getting into something with Red Velvet. You know, you want to be a belt collector, you want to have all these titles, you're going to have to be in multiple feuds, you're going to have to be in matches between multiple promotions, obviously. And if she's not participating on the show, I think it's going to be the wrong thing for the company to do. We've seen this with like Adam Cole and MJF winning the tag titles, not being there. The 6-man tag titles with the Bang Bang Gang, they actually only went there one time so that they could put the titles on the line, and they were defending it there when the Elite and Hangman had the 6-man tag titles. They never showed up on Ring of Honor. And I can keep going on and on and on in terms of who never showed up, but like we can't make this a trend to keep going, because if you want Ring of Honor to get better, like people who are holding titles have to show up. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back on Saturday with a review on Collision. See you guys then. Bye.